You know, Bunny Whaler came to Manchester the other day. I didn't manage to catch the show because I'm too poor at the moment. You know, not necessarily through my own fault because I'm working like a dog. Those that have seen me in town know what I'm talking about. And he said, same thing that's happening here in Manchester's happening where he is, it's happening all over the world, where the government's trying to divide the people and don't let them divide you. You see, I've just had a thought while I'm sitting in. It's not a case just of letting the government divide you. We divide each other. The ultimate problem is when you see the Matrix, anyone can become Agent Smith, meaning to say anyone can suddenly, spontaneously, maybe not even realising they're doing it, just become Agent Smith, become the thing that they're fighting against. Because we're all connected and tied to this system, we're all plugged in. You live in the city, you're plugged into their lights, you're plugged into their water, you're plugged into everything. Nothing exists for you outside of the things that you've worked for, the things inside your house and things like that. And maybe if you've bought your house and you own it in its entirety, once you go outside that front door, you're not allowed to touch anything. Nothing belongs to you. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like the only thing that exists is you and your house, and that's it. You're not allowed to do what you want with other people's property, are you? So it doesn't really exist for you, the use of it. It's there, you can see it with your eyes, but your eyes are really deceiving you as to what's really there. You understand? The desert of the real. How little you feel you can say, well, this is me. Imagine how free man felt when it was just him in the woods, in the forest, the trees, and he and the trees were one. Man and the land were one, and we're not anymore. And all that major separation is one of the major reasons why we suffer so much and why families are made to suffer. The way I'm feeling right now, I'm not happy because there's a lot of people that I'm seeing in my life that are being revealed. Who's for you and who is against you. I'm not happy. They've let me down. They let me down. They let themselves down. They let me down. Big time. And people say, oh, such is life, you'll recover. Yeah, well, the fundamentals of life is, your family is everything. So, you tell me. But I'll get over this. I always do. Still here. Been through things. I'm not about to compare anything with anything, but, I know what goes around comes around. And, the more we perpetuate the evils as a society, the more it is in society embedded problematically in with the society. And yes, many of the truths we're talking about the government being able to remedy it, they can remedy some of it, but unless we're prepared to also accept these things into our daily lives and do them, it's kind of like say, well, they can make as many laws as they want, but criminals break laws, don't they? So, that means nothing to a criminal mentality. And the thing is, how do we get down to the criminal mentality? What's causing criminal mentality? Money. Money's causing criminal mentality. Got people in my life who claim that they care about me, but all they care about is money. I do my best, and the time that I give is worth more than anything. Money, that's all people care about. But it's all going to run out. All the petrol's going to run out. Everything's going to run out because everyone's they don't care. They don't really care, They just think, so what if a few at the bottom can't get whatever, They don't realise their position. There's always other fish, isn't there? there are consequences for actions in life. There are consequences. Yeah, and I can't walk away from my duties just because people are doing certain things to me that ain't right, you know. They've revealed themselves. Yeah, because times are hard for them. Times are hard for all of us, but I don't do that. And I refuse to make their wicked actions against me turn me into people like them. Because that's what it's all about. That's what this whole spiritual journey is about. Yeah, and I've been tested now severely. Well, there's nothing more they can do now, is there? Nothing more they can do. It's onwards and upwards, to be honest. Of course, none of them could get away with it either. Because, you know, if you're a thief, you're also a liar. Or if you're a liar, you're also a thief. You know, you're just taking things that don't belong to you. You know, you're vandalising people. You're abusing people with your behaviour, with your attitude. You know, forgetting who your friends are, forgetting who's there for you. You know, and making these psychopathic decisions on what, on how you're feeling. Right? You didn't even explain to me how you're feeling. That's part of the problem. Everyone's shut off from their feelings to discuss your feelings. Somehow, you know, people say it makes you weak, that you discuss your feelings. But we've all got feelings, and those that deny them, they're the ones that are going to have mental breakdowns. You know, there's no catharsis in what they're doing. There's no release. They just think they can handle it all. You can't. Nobody can. We're not meant to. Otherwise, why speak? Why do we have language? To be honest, I don't know. I don't know why I speak. I've got my children to think about. And in that world where my children are going to live, there's all of you. And I want my children to be safe. I'm sure you want your children to be safe. And therefore it's important that the world is as safe as we can make it. If we can make it safer, you know, it'd be neglectful behaviour not to make it safer, wouldn't it? It'd be like leaving rubbish all over the place and not trying to make it safer. As some people do and refuse to take and heed my advice. Everything to them is a joke. You know, I'm a joke. What I'm saying is a joke. This information's a joke. You know, there is no such thing as anything good. They just do what they want. And the program. I've not been on Facebook for a while. You know, it's just, they've destroyed it anyway. They got what they wanted at the end of the day through the, you know. So even if you can feel like you're on there, they're just sussing everything out that you want to think. Which I don't mind them knowing, because I'm always telling them the truth anyway, and I don't commit crimes. You know, I'm a good person. I shouldn't even have to really say that. It just, we're all innocent before proven guilty, but I am. So just because I happen to know certain things, I'm not using it so, I can go commit a crime. It's not about that. Yeah, it's that policing, for example, has become heavy-handed. But there's a time when you need it, innit? There's times when I need it. So that it has to, you know, I just try to be balanced, yeah, and fair. Maybe not everyone's going to be balanced and fair with me. That's one of the things I realised. You know, all those things like integrity and all the rest of it. You think you're asking the police to live up to that, but people out there, a daily life, you can't live up to it. You know, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, yeah, employees and employers, yeah, just friends, and you know what I mean. You see, in the poverty-stricken areas, it's like the more poverty there is, the more the rules are broken. It's a simple fact. You know why? Because either you break the rules or you starve. You know, I've had people do me wrong recently because their money's been stopped. But my money's been stopped as well. Everybody's been sanctioned. But I didn't go and rob somebody. You know what I mean? I dealt with them. I found other remedies. I went to the food banks and things like that. And I still had my family to take care of. You know? And I've done all of that. And all of that has had an effect also. Because it's affected me, my family. You know? What are all of those things are supposed to protect people from going through breakdowns, family breakups, all the rest of it. And instead, it's being used to create that. Yeah? And that, what's that going to create? Right? In most people, it's going to create anger and division, isn't it? It's going to create pain and hurt and lack of caring. And I refuse, no matter what anybody's trying to do, yeah? Because half the time, yeah, it just feels like people are being bribed. Because I know so much, you see, they want to try and destroy my life, but it's okay, because what they're actually destroying is the goodness in the world that exists in the world. And when that's not there anymore, they'll be left with all the evils and all the evil people. And do you think the evil people care about anybody? So, you know, there is a choice to be made, and humanity is going to make this choice, all of us. You know, I've made my choice, and I'm staying where I'm at, right? Because, you know, I don't know what the future exactly is going to bring, but it can only be better. You understand? And that's why we all have to hold on to something. Yeah. When I say Christ is the rock, yeah, Christ is the messenger, yeah, but the message that the messenger is saying, sorry I'm saying that word messenger, funny isn't it? Messenger, yeah, it's the message that's important, right? So when people say Christ is the rock, yeah, and when people say, oh, Christ is going to be reborn and resurrected and all the rest of it, there's some people out there that think it's about flesh, yeah. And if you read the Bible, you know that Christ is the Word of God. Therefore, it will say the idea of God, what God wants us to know about. He created us. Why did He create us, God? How are we supposed to be living? Well, He created all the laws, didn't He? He says, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that'll happen. And that's what we call, you know, causality, nature, taking effect. That's how it happens in life. You know, that's why when people are doing evil in the world, the evil got to come back to them 10 times. I don't really want to have to talk about, you know, things that's happened in my life, you know what I mean? But I use it because if you've got no experience, what are you talking about? I've got experience of all of that, and I've seen people that I know go to jail because they didn't listen. You know? They didn't listen many, many years ago. And when they did me the wrongs, yeah, I like many people, you started hating them for it. But I didn't go any further than that. It was just like something I had to deal with. This is one of the things people run from, innit? That's why they medicate people, to run away from their emotions, and they're not then taught how to deal with those emotions and to grow and mature with those emotions. You know, I'm a big man, so I have to grow and mature with these emotions. And maybe the problem in the world is that because people are so locked up tight about talking about how they feel about when something's happened, then nobody knows how to deal with it. And so violence becomes the norm, you know. And then, you know, the only remedy for violence is obviously to arrest and process people. But why are we not teaching people to be anti-violent? And why are we not providing structures that keep that peace? Yeah. When they take away benefits, it doesn't help keep peace. It helps create crime. You know, you get police knocking door to door now looking for crimes because they can't see any crimes because people are trying to be good despite the corruption. Somebody's to blame for this, yeah, and somebody needs to know what's going on. Like, you know, like Mark Passio says, care is dying, love is dying, yeah. Care is in distress. Trinity falling from the building at the start of every Matrix. Care, the female aspect, the emotional aspect of humans' brains, is in distress. And I see it more and more manifested in people. This is the revelation that, was spoken about. It was a mystery, but now you can actually see it. You've got this hindsight, haven't you? To say, okay, now we know what all the rest of it. Because I've been seeing little things revealing themselves. And it's not something that the government controls. As much as they are, yes, they are a part of it, and yes, they're an instigator, but nobody makes you do that when given a certain circumstance. A lot of people, you start out, all right, you want some money, so how do you get your money? Do you get a job, or do you go stealing? It's like that, isn't it? Most people aren't going stealing. And the reason is honour and duty. Still does exist in a lot of people. People that go to work maybe get peed off with people that don't work because they're seeing it as, well, I'm doing an honourable thing. And really deep down, I have to commend them for doing that, because it is a sacrifice. Since there is no other way that people have invented, it's good for us to say, oh yes, down with work, and work is slavery and money is slavery. Yeah, I think that. But there isn't a solution right now. We haven't created the solution. And when we try and create self-employment, who's supporting it? Who's supporting it? In this economy, how can you survive on £10 and £5? You know what I mean? You're working all day for that. How can you survive on that? You can't live on that. There's supposed to be tax credits and things like that. You're supposed to be getting all them things by now. Oh, now I'm still not getting it. They're just making excuse after excuse and saying, oh, you need to provide this info. You need to give us that info. What information? You know what I mean? I'm not earning. When I started my business, I didn't start my business straight away I'm earning money. I've only just started making a bit of money. It's not enough. Can't live on that. Something's got to change, so I've got to remedy that. Find some part-time work or another job so that I can afford to even do that. And I might not end up doing that now. So it's just like a waste of time, because the economy's just not there. I'm working my ass off. Can't do any more. Plus I've got kids to help. You know what I mean? Plus these problem people just want to create problems for you and give you more work to do. You know what I mean? But they've had it, because all the protection I've been giving them and the work I've been doing for them and the help that I've been giving them, it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there now. They've done that to themselves. People that remain faithful or loyal, they'll always have my love and respect. But people that don't, no, you just lose it. You're going to lose it, and you've lost it even. And they won't realise right now, like the ones that are sitting in jail, who knew me before they went to jail, and I told them don't do such and such, and you know what I mean, whether they were with me or not. Now they're in jail. Yeah. And I see it as a common theme. These are things that's going on in the ghetto areas especially. Now, think about love. You say love is blind. And it is. Because it blinds yourself to the truth of what that person really is. If there's something there, if there's a flaw there, you might not really want to see that, especially if that flaw impacts upon your day-to-day life and the way you live. And trust me, some people's flaws are really, really bad. I've got flaws. We've all got flaws. And when we say flaws, what's a flaw? Is that according to someone else? And they say, you should be doing such and such a thing? Is that the way it is? I know I'm not lazy. I do a lot of hard work, but it's like, the reward is not very high. I mean, the reward in terms of self-fulfillment, when I feel that it's fulfilled, yeah. But, I've had to do everything for myself. No one's helped me to do it. Those that say they've helped me to do it, if anyone comes to my house and you know, I've got food, I say, hey, do you want some food? Yeah, I want some food. I'm not like, you know, because I've given them the food now, looking back and going, oh, I'm going to charge you for that food. I'm going to put some kind of intrinsic value on that. But at the same time, when nobody reciprocates, yeah, it gets a bit too much, doesn't it? Because you're always giving and they're always taking, and they're never giving in return. And, you know, this is why Christ says, neither a borrower nor a lender be. Because both of those positions put you in a problem with people and destroy your relationship between people, between your friends, between your family. You know what I mean? When you can't resolve it, because money's something none of us can control. It's just something that we have to use, and you know, we try to get it. And that's become the only thing in life that people are aspiring to, getting money. And I'm tired of it. Yeah, I'm tired of living in that kind of society, that there are no other values and everything else is destroyed because of that. And for the, you know, it's like throwing £50 in the air, you know, in wands, and everyone's fighting over these wands. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is just going to shit. It's all going to shit, you know, because people are just lustful and greedy and cannot see the holistic view, the overview. And when people like me speak these things, none of you are even interested. You know, it goes over your head. It's got, you know, I barely intuit some of this information, but you know, he who feels it knows it. Yeah, and so when I say these things, I know that some of you get it and some of you just don't get it. You know, and maybe you'll never get it, and I shouldn't even feel about anything about that, but I do feel regret and sadness that you don't get it, because there is a better way. You know, people don't value friendship anymore. They value money, and therefore their friends are chosen based on what they can do financially for them or with them. You know, and no one's really pulling together. I mean, I say that there are people, of course there's people pulling together, but I don't see them. I see them talking about it, but I don't see them doing it. Everyone I know, they're just imploding, self-destructing. I'll tell you something weird, right? Last night I was around at my friend's house. The police just started knocking door to door. Right? I knocked on his door and he said, did you see someone getting stabbed last night? We've cordoned off the road. And obviously he lived there and he didn't see no cordon, and I didn't see no cordon. You know, if this has happened like within, even if it's happened within the last few days, we would have seen all of that. We would have seen police activity. They would have closed off the street, all sorts of things. None of that happened. So they're knocking the door and saying, we're just doing a house search. House search? My friend said, what do you mean just doing a house search? What do you mean? And I said, oh, just doing this house search, you know. And he's like, well, you know, it's nothing to do with me. Besides, at the end of the day, there's been no cordon, you know, nothing like that's happened. It's like, so they went anyway, and it's like, he come back and he's like, he's kind of perplexed and he's bothered by it. He's like, why are they knocking the door and saying that when blatantly that's not happened, you know? And then he's telling me, you know, why they've not got the hat on, you know, if they're in uniform, not got the hat on, you know, they're not properly dressed and all the rest of it. And this is going on more and more, and I was talking to him about the immigration police coming in more and more. And here's the thing, they're going around, like, how are they going to identify who is who? Do they know who everybody is? Do you know what everybody looks like? Who are they actually looking for? What are they looking for? You know, they're claiming that something happened that never happened. But I want to come and do a house search. What? Hey? What? People need to wake up to what's going on. You know, technology is just spying on people 24/7. You know, technology's even tricking people and suggesting things to people. They know what you're thinking now before you're thinking it these days. And they're even manipulating you based on everything that they know about you on the internet. You know, trying to get to you. They're just trying to destroy you. At the end of the day, this is where you need to be strong. You know, no one can teach you strength. You have to just have it. You just have to be that. So anyway, yeah, immigration police, it would seem, because the conversation just drifted on. Well, you know, why the police not thinking about this crime that never happened, to obviously gain access. For what reason, I don't know, because we don't commit crimes, you know. But you know, it's just like, when you need them, they're not there. But then when you don't need them or nothing's happened, they're there, and it's like, why are you here? Oh, you know, papers, please. This is, you know, just getting people used to this or something like. We just do this these days. And he says, oh, well, you know what it is, because they put all them cameras in, and really, they're a waste of time anyway, because who commits crimes? Well, he actually said, like, they're not catching anybody, you know, committing crimes. And I said, well, it's probably because people aren't doing anything criminal. Have they thought about that? You know, it's assumed everyone's a criminal. People are holding it down. People are holding it down. You know, whatever's being done, they're controlling the behaviour, and that's admirable quality in most of the people that are doing that. But there is a lot of trouble kicking off, and we know who's causing it, the people who are pulling the strings with money. And they have all the responsibility for what's happening. If they can just create money out of thin air, then they you know, need to give people immediate access to it, you know, and not be so restrictive, and let the people, rather than commit crimes, try and do something with money. You know what I mean? And yes, they are showing people the way in that, but how many people are taking that as a way forward? Because it's like, there's only a few people. I'm one of the few people that's done it, and there's other people, but where's the support? It's like, once the government gets you off their books, it's like, right, fuck off. You're off now. Don't want to, you know, next. Don't offer really any after support. They just want to, oh yeah, you just need that just so I can get my money. You see, because it's all about them getting their money. But who can blame them in this world? This is why I say this, and whoever wants to think what they want to think can think what they want. Yeah, I say money is evil. It just makes people do evil. It's the very process of trying to acquire it, and the way we acquire it, by lying and adding value to things and inflating things when it didn't need to be that price, which really diminishes the quality of overall living. And we've got all these machines these days which would, you know, it's just like, instead of the price going down, the price is going up. You know, and the people that accept this, you know, people that haven't grown up, accepted responsibility, it's like, I really can't be around them. Can't be around any of them. You know, they're just money lovers. They make my stomach turn. You know, we need money, yeah, but I don't want to be around people that have got, you know, problems with, you know, not having money or having money, because both is a problem. You know, whether you got money or not, be a human being and be that first. You know, because what they're doing now is they're using the powers of nothing really. Passport is got nothing to do with the common law right to travel. It's got to do with being in the airport. It's a private membership card to walk around the airport. So when they're sending their police now, private police, to come and talk about, it's not a requirement to have a passport to travel, is it? It's not a requirement. You don't need it. And you don't need to prove who you are to travel. So the passport, really, it's redundant. It's because you're using their private business. You're walking through that private land that they've somehow acquired by getting it off the public anyway. So it was public land, you know, given to them, and it's still the public land. But they've deceived everybody into thinking you need to beg their permission to do it. So now they're coming knocking door to door, and if it was immigration that they were, say, looking for, how are they going to prove who's who? Oh, passport. So now when people are in their own home, they're going to have to prove who they are, living in their own home. And that's here now. You know, everyone's blind to that. I just lie. You know, that's why all of this happens. Everything happens for a reason. I love you all.